What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren, along with his fellow podcast brothers, Dorian, the D.A. Alberton, James, the Angry One Warren, Mike Mills, and Daryl, D-Dub Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans. This is a sports podcast with no hot takes, no narratives, just real, unadulterated sports talk. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel, Sports Chasers Podcast. We can be found on all podcast platforms, plus all social media platforms by searching Sports Chasers Podcast. All information is in our bio. Please be advised, at times there may be some explicit and colorful language. We are the defenders of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin L. Warren!
Man, what an introduction, man. I feel like Arsenio, man. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Hope everything's well with you. This is Sports Chasers Podcast, man. And hey, man, we gotta get an intro. We gotta stick Dan in there, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
This tonight.
The hockey guy.
The hockey guy, man. So yeah, we're gonna get that up and running, man. I hope everybody's well tonight, man. We got a lot to get into. We're gonna talk about hockey tonight. The National Football League playoffs is on. It's going on. DA's Niners. Oh, they did their thing last week, in spite of, as he would say, Jimmy G. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk a little NBA. The NBA is, going on. But before we get into the NFL and all that other stuff, the other good stuff, we're gonna spend a couple minutes talking about hockey. Dan comes on every month, and he'll talk about hockey, some of the things that are going on, and I'll ask him some questions, some things that's going on with hockey. And one of the things I wanted him to, well, I'll give Dan the floor. Dan, you got it. What's going on, brother?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good
to see y'all.
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, thank you. It was pretty cool yesterday. I think, or 2 days ago, in Boston. They raised the jersey of Willie O'Ree.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, he's the Jackie Robinson of hockey.
Yeah.
And what was it, 1958, I think it was, against the Canadians. He played his first game. But yeah, it was cool. It's like he didn't play a whole lot in the NHL, but he played till I think he was 43 in the minors, had a pretty good career in the minors. So that was really cool to see that. He's done a lot for the game. And, hopefully, they get something, one of these trophies or something named after him, besides just having a jersey up there, because he's done a lot.
Did they retire? Cool. I'm sorry, Jen, did they retire his number, just his number with the Canadians, or they retired it, throughout the National Hockey League? Like how
I think it was just Boston.
Boston. I'm sorry, Boston.
Yeah, because I didn't get a chance to see it because I was working, but
gotcha.
I did see the little video of it.
Okay.
But yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. But yeah, things are heating up in the NHL, getting
Definitely.
to that point where, you're going to start to see some teams selling and some teams start buying. I think, and also, what was it, yesterday or today, they announced a lot of the rescheduling for the COVID games that they lost, since now they're not going to the Olympics. I think I saw where, like on my feed, it was Carolina and Pittsburgh. I think Carolina had 8 games rescheduled, and I think Pittsburgh had 9 that they rescheduled. So like in February, in a 2-week period, I think they played like 8 games.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dan. Let me ask you. So they're gonna make up all the games. We're still gonna get 82 games in.
They're gonna try. They're
Okay.
gonna try to get them in. So I mean, depending on some of these teams, I'm trying to think who was really. I think Ottawa was one of the teams that was kind of got hit a lot with the postpone. A lot of the Canadian teams got a lot of postponements. Like I think Edmonton, they've been sitting, not playing much. Check. Yeah, see, Edmonton only has like 35 games played. Same with Calgary. Who else? Winnipeg's got 35.
That's games left for the.
Well, no, that's how many they played this year.
Oh, played this year. Gotcha.
And Ottawa's only played 32. And the Islanders only played 32. Because remember, the Islanders had that like November, where they had like a 2-week stretch that they didn't play much either. So I think they're going to try their best to get all these games in. It's going to be, how many back-to-backs can they play? It'll be interesting. At least it'll be good hockey then.
And of course,
playing every other day.
And availability of the building also.
Yeah, availability of buildings and stuff like that.
Go ahead, D-Dub. You had a question?
Well, with that being said, you trade deadlines coming up. A lot of wheeling and dealing. You think it's going to be made, or is Fleury going? Fleury, I can't say it. What is he going to do with as far as the Chicago Blackhawks and
they've been actually playing pretty good as of late. I think he's won like 4 games. Yeah, like I think they're 4-3-3 in their last 10. But I think he's only given up like 1 or 2 goals in like 4 games.
He's averaging about 2.6. So
that's the interesting thing. So like some of these teams that are the bottom of the barrel, Arizona, I don't think Seattle might move some pieces if they can get more back as far as draft picks and a player to kind of play for next season. But some of these teams that know they can't make it, that they got unrestricted free agents, you're going to see some of those teams maybe move those bodies a little bit earlier to teams that know that like you got your teams that at the top of the division that need maybe a piece or two to put them over the top. You'll see some of those deals, I think, prior to the deadline, because I think I want to say it's March.
That's when the trade deadline is, March?
I believe so.
Okay.
And then, but I think because the Penguins did that a lot. Like that was one of the best days. You turn on the NHL Network on the trade deadline day. They had like till 3 p.m. to submit the stuff. So you just sit there and wait and see who your team's going to pick up. If they're getting better.
March 21st to be exact, the deadline.
And that's the hard part too, because there's not many games after that.
Yeah.
So like when you get these new pieces to add to your team, the chemistry, it takes a little while to build, who the line mates and this, that, and the other.
Right.
So that's why the last few years, it seems like teams are doing this earlier than the actual deadline so that they can get these people incorporated into their team and get that chemistry going so that they're on the, they're doing really, really well at that time of the year going into the playoffs instead of getting somebody and kind of struggling.
Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry, D. Let me get this question real quick. So you're saying that the trade deadline is in March. Has it always been in March with the NHL? And has there been an opportunity to like move it up? Say like how the NBA has theirs. The NBA has theirs coming up here real soon, right? In February, I think.
Yes.
First week of February. Not familiar with the date. Not know the drop date, but they have it. Why hasn't it always been in March? Is that just how it is?
That's just how it's been.
Okay.
And I don't know if they've had talks about moving it up. I mean, if you want to create some drama and get some eyeballs on the league, if you move that thing, mid-February, where there's a lot more teams that are on the bubble, because that's the thing is you get to that point of the year, there's teams that know they're not making it, so they're going to shed players, and then you got other teams that know they're in that do the deals earlier, so not a lot happens on that trade deadline day. You'll get some moves, but it won't be what it used to be.
That's interesting. DA, go ahead. You had your question, sir.
Yeah, I was on what you're saying. I was reading that the Bruins are looking for a defenseman. Like they're looking at the Canadians, they're looking at Dallas. Like they're just trying to get one like now to, as you said, kind of incorporate with whatever line and whoever he's going to play with. But they said the Bruins are looking to make a move. I don't know what they got to give up, but it seems to me like when you're talking to two separate teams, about two separate defensemen, it's kind of like you're all in now. This is what we're trying to do, and we know we need this now.
Well, like with the Boston thing, I know they got a couple people that aren't very happy with their time, playing time and whatnot. Like, the word is DeBrusk wants out. So for them, like, that's the other thing. So you got the guy in Dallas, Klingberg.
Yeah, Klingberg.
That kind of took the hometown discount the last contract he was on, and now he wants paid.
Yeah.
Well, Dallas, I don't know that they can pay him what he wants. So that's one guy I look to get moved here shortly. And that like, I know Carolina was in the rumor mill to get him. I mean, Boston might be a place that he goes to.
I know the Canadians got the guy Chariot. Was it Chariot?
Sherratt.
Yeah. They're paying him like 3.5 now, but I don't know if that's a number anybody else wants to pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like Montreal, I think that's a team that you're going to see that starts shedding a bunch of players. I mean, they just had a rough go of it this year. After
good run last year.
I mean, damn. I mean, 8-25. Yeah, they. I guess they're going. I guess they are going.
Sellers.
Yeah.
I mean, Carey Price hasn't played for them all year either. There's star goaltender, and like, is he going to move, or are they going to move Allen, the other guy, and like with Fleury, like one of the things that I've wrote down to talk about was, I don't know if anybody saw it, but Edmonton's just having, like, after being 9-1 at the beginning of the year, they've had 2 6-game losing streaks, I think, over the strand, and that you could just see it. Like Kevin, you said it when they played the Rangers, Reid came down and stole the puck right off McDavid, and he didn't even care, and you could just see the frustration. But they had press conference the other day. I saw it on YouTube the other day, but they were interviewing Leon Draisaitl, and apparently, if I had to guess, these two don't like each other. So the guy asked Draisaitl a question, and he's like, you guys are you can see the frustration. You guys got to get better. What do you think you need to do to get better? And he's just like, we just got to get better, all of us. And the guy's like, well, you want to elaborate? And he goes, no, you know everything. And then the guy comes back at him and says, Leon, why are you being so pissy about it? And he goes, well, you know everything. You can answer that. And then they moved on to somebody else. But you could just see when they had these press conferences and they're asking questions, like, I think that's another team that I think you're going to see. They got to make a change somewhere, whether it's the coach, whether it's players. And the hard part is they signed all these old guys to a lot of long-term contracts.
Sounds familiar.
For some dollars. So some of them might be hard to move.
Sounds familiar.
That's the way
Definitely sounds familiar. Definitely sounds familiar. And, we hear this story all the time with teams. See, the best team to me is when you got a mixture. A little bit of old, a little bit of young. You mix it, it meshes better. But you can't have your whole payroll tied up into a 45-year-old or 43-year-old guy, 37, 38, 39.
Is Yager on the team still?
He's
I'm messing with you.
hey, he's still playing.
Yeah,
he's still playing.
He's still playing. Where?
No. He's playing overseas. Back over in his homeland. He's still playing.
Wow.
Holy cow.
He's like what, 50, 51, something like that?
Something like that. But he's in hell of a shape though. Yeah. He's still in great shape.
Yeah. If you can ball,
his day. Yeah. His day.
He's probably still on the Rangers payroll, I think.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Dan.
That sounds familiar too. Another New York team.
Yeah, was that Benny? You guys paid? You're still paying?
Hey, the Rangers is work. They doing good though this year.
Oh, they're a wagon right now.
Dan, I was gonna ask you this. I'm sorry to cut you, D-Dub.
No, you
Dan, give me your power top 10 right now in the NHL.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, give me 5.
Well, I watched Carolina play Boston the other night. They beat the wheels off them. They put up a touchdown.
Yo, Carolina's a bad team, boy.
Carolina, yes.
And Tuukka Rask was back in net for Boston.
Yeah.
So he's back. So that's why I think they're looking for a defenseman. Now they got their goaltender back. But I think like the Rangers, Carolina, Washington, Tampa, and Florida. Colorado's been playing really good as of late. And I would say probably St. Louis. Now, granted, a lot of those teams are at the top of their divisions, but some of the trying to think who's been kind of on a tear but like Anaheim. Anaheim's been playing good.
Well, that's your top 6, your power 6 right now.
And he only has one of the what you call them, legacy teams in there, man. I think you only named one legacy squad, man.
Okay,
Rangers, right?
So
yeah, but
Boston's still kind of struggling. Montreal's terrible.
Yeah.
Toronto's getting back to what they usually do, giving up games.
Like last night.
Yep, I did. I thought they had that one in the bag, and then Revo come out.
I went to bed. I was like, "Oh shoot, the Rangers won."
Yeah, Revo come out and said, "Nope, I'm going to score 2 goals, get us back in the game," and that was lights out. But Vancouver. Let's see, that's a team. Vancouver's been playing really well since they fired the coach and brought in Boudreau,
right?
Bruce Boudreau. So, I mean, some of these teams, that's either you can't fire all the players, so typically it's the coach it's going to go. And Edmonton, they're woeful. They only got 38 points.
Yeah,
they're what 9 and 14 since the beginning of the season.
Wow, that's not good.
Since they went on that 9-1 streak. But yeah, that's I see them that they're going to need a goalie. So either Fleury or Varlamov for the Islanders, depending on how they go.
I'm sorry, D. Go ahead.
I said, did you put all your eggs in one basket with Fleury with an agent 37-year-old goalie? Or is that good in goalie terms?
Well, I mean, he's up there in age, but if you watch him play, he could still make the saves. He hasn't lost his quickness. But But the thing is if you're a team, so it's just like baseball, football, or whatever, that you have your window. So you have your core group of guys, and you have a window of so many years that you could possibly win. So if you're within that core window, we'll just Edmonton, for example, they got Draisaitl, they got McDavid, Hyman. They got a good core, but their problem's been defense and goaltending. So if you can pick up an upgrade at goaltending over what you got to squeak you out a couple extra wins to get you into playoffs, then anything can happen. So anybody get hot. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give up a ton for Fleury. I wouldn't be tossing around a bunch of number 1 picks, first round picks. But if it's reasonable, yeah, or any of these other guys, Jake Allen, Varlamov, they need something better than what they got, because with what they're paying these two, even the coach was throwing the goalie under the bus, and the goalie come back and says, "Hey, look, I can't score goals." I mean, you're mad at me for giving up goals, but I can't score them, and if they don't score, we don't win.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. So, I think with some of these teams that you're going to, the ones that have good cores that are in that window, they're going to start making some moves shortly. They might wait until after the All-Star game.
Speaking of which, Dan, I want you, since we segue to the All-Star game, explain to our fans out there, to the folks listening, what's the NHL All-Star game? What's their format when it comes to the NHL, All-Star game? And we took a little poll last week. We were saying how the NHL is right there 1 and 2 with baseball, and the other All-Star games stink.
Yeah. Well, they switched up the format because they used to be where they played 5-on-5, and it just got to be terrible because one, nobody tried and nobody hit each other. It was just a glorified practice. But then they moved it to now it's 3-on-3, which it's a lot better because it's a lot more open, a lot more skill.
Right.
But what they ended up doing is they broke it down to the Metropolitans one division, Tampa or Atlantic is the other division. Then you got the Central and the Pacific. So each of those conferences, that's what comprises their team of. And then they don't play full games. I think they play like 10-minute periods, like 2 10-minute periods, something like that. But it's a little bit shortened games. And then they rotate it to like a tourney till they get down to the final 2.
Okay.
But for me, I really don't end up ever watching that. I always the thing that I want to watch is the skills challenge.
I was about to ask. Go ahead, Dan.
That's better.
Oh, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. A hockey guy. He says it's a hard watch to watch the NHL All-Star game.
Well,
skills challenge is good though.
Yeah, let me preface it this way.
Absolutely, yes.
Because as Nathan McKinnon said, it's not a participation game. It's an all-star game. Because there's a couple of guys that didn't get in that deserve to be in. But the rule is each team has to have a participant. I mean, some of these teams, deserve it. Why? Yeah. And that's because like you had Kadri, your boy from the Rangers, Zibanejad, he got in, but apparently he can't go for personal reasons. Correct. So Getzel's going to go for him. Stamkos made it for Tampa. And then that Troy Terry that's having a really good year for Anaheim. He was the other last man in. So, but those guys, like there's no Crosby. There's no Panarin. I mean, is it an all-star game and that's the other good thing with them bumping it down to where they're play these 3-on-3 things. I don't know if the amount of players going to the game is the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
That's a catch-22 though. So you change the game around to give it more ease of play and speed, but when you move to 3-on-3, you inevitably cut out players that can be there. Because it's only 3-on-3 and one guy each team, so that's going to cut you down immediately. And then, how greedy owners are, they want to have one guy from each team because they conceive that if they got a guy from that market, they're going to watch, and that's not the truth. They'll watch if it's good hockey, not because there's a guy from Edmonton on the team. Like Edmonton's not going to watch just because there's a guy from the Oilers on the team. That's dumb. That's not going to make no sense. So, and if you think that way, you may as well give your millions to me, because I can lose your money. I can lose your money just as well, just as easy. So.
But not for nothing, man. Me personally, they could do away with all these all-star games, as far as I'm concerned, except for baseball. Baseball is the only enjoyable one that I really like. All the rest of them, man, they could really just send in your ballots and vote on who's the best skill player or whatever the case is, who they think, and just call it a day.
Yeah, I think there's a way to fix it. They just don't want to do it, man. I believe.
But you guys watch the NFL All-Star game, the Pro Bowl.
Never.
Not in at least 15 years.
No. You got 4 men that just said no.
Not in at least 15
4 men
years.
that just said absolutely not.
And I'll give you a hell no.
The Pro Bowl.
Hell no. I give you a hell no.
Nobody.
Is that a Steve Austin? Hell no.
Yeah. Hell no. Nobody watches the Pro Bowl.
What's funny about that, gents, is that's not the athlete's fault.
No.
It just shouldn't be a thing because dudes get hurt. Like football is a painful sport.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, D, and the money situation, again, this money thing has messed up a lot of stuff. Well, not so much messed up, but these guys are not playing just to and get hurt in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
we see what happened to Paul George and that wasn't even that was a preseason.
That was Olympics. It was
Olympics, and when he got hurt.
But I wouldn't. If I was a pro football player, I wouldn't play. Period. It wouldn't matter how much you paid me to go to that game, because football hurts every play, right? Even if your bones are calcified, like hockey players and football players after years, it doesn't hurt the same way. But there's absolutely positively no reason I would go play a football game if I'm a grown man for nothing, for no money. Nah, not a chance. There's nothing you can do. I'm not sure why they did it when we were kids. I'm really not sure. But they probably didn't play hard. It's just we were so young and dumb. We thought they were going hard at it.
Looked hard, yeah.
Yeah, now after knowing what I know that there's no way in the world that they could have been playing hard. Because if they were, there'd be no reason to be there. Because it's never enough money to go. Like the side money for the winning team, it's really not enough money split amongst the team to where it matters. Like dudes used to I'm gonna let you go, Dan, but only thing I used to hear was guys say, "Yeah, man, it was cool to take my family to Hawaii for free." That was it. Because they used to go to Hawaii in the NFL.
That's it.
But that was it. So
that was the main purpose.
Yeah. Free chip.
D-Dub, as we wrap up hockey, I don't know if you had another question. I'm sorry. Did you have another question?
No, I didn't.
Well, what's your other question that you have for Dan? And we're gonna wrap up.
I think I've asked all mine.
We wasn't on the air, but go
ahead. Let me
go
get one in real quick.
James,
sorry, James. Go ahead.
Nah, you good.
The angry one.
So Dan.
So
Dan, let me ask you this. Last time I believe the last time we was up here, everybody was hooting and hollering over the Rangers. Rangers this, Rangers that. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Don't make no faces, B.
Jay-Z this, Jay-Z that.
So and since then it seems like it's gotten crowded up at the top. So my question to you is, out of these teams, the Rangers, the Panthers, the Maple Leafs, the Lightning, the Hurricanes, the Panthers, which one of these teams, being that we're rapidly approaching the trade deadline, which teams do you feel should make a move and be a buyer, and which teams should stay put because they're pretty much set for this playoff run?
Well, looking at it, like the Rangers, I mean, if they wanted to upgrade, maybe a third or fourth line player, checker, grinder, penalty killer to help them, that wouldn't be bad. Like I said, Carolina, for some reasons in the sweepstakes possible for the Klinberg, the defenseman from Dallas.
Yep.
I mean, I think they're good the way they are. The Washington probably could use an upgrade in goaltending. Just
that's
like
this hard.
Yeah, and that's like with the save percentage that the two guys that they got, you'd like it to be a little bit higher. I think Tampa, they're probably one of the teams that probably stand pat because they got a lot of money tied up in the cap. And Florida, like, I don't know if I'd change anything with Florida because they had just been dominant, most of the year. And then Toronto, I don't know what you do with them because, I mean, they got the scores, maybe a defenseman, but I don't know what it is with them. And when it gets to playoff time, and they find a way to lose. And but like Vegas, they're basically making a move that they've already made coming up. He's been skating non-contact jersey, so it's a matter of time before he comes back. So they made that trade a long time ago, but now he's going to be able to play for them. So it's kind of like almost preached trade deadline acquisition, but he's been there for a while. He's just been hurt because I saw where Alex Tuck played. He's played, I think, 7 or 8 games for Buffalo. He's the other guy in the trade, and he's got a point per game for them. So far it's working out for Buffalo. We'll just have to see what happens with Vegas. But like they already got somebody in the win for that. But like, I don't know, like Anaheim's like a tricky one too, because it's like if they fall off and drop out of the race, and you see like Calgary and Vancouver work their way up, are they going to sell their players to some of these other teams? Because, you got some veteran defensemen on Anaheim that could move possibly and help teams. It'll be interesting, but like, there's only a few teams I think that need to make a change.
Okay.
Question, man. Good question.
All right, look, guys, I'm sorry. I always fuck it up, but listen, Dan. Listen, man. Your boy Pickett, they got him going number 2 to the Lions. First off, is he number 2? Is Pickett a number 2 pick in the NFL draft? We watched Pittsburgh. I watched them. Yeah, my eyes on them in the ACC. Now, I don't really have a problem with him going number 2. I have a problem going number 2 to the Detroit Lions, because I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. He played good at Pittsburgh. I thought he was real good. I thought he was the best quarterback in the ACC, better than dude from Wake and dude from Thurston Howell from the Gilligan's Island and UNC. I thought he was better than both of them. But I don't know if I want him out there just to get stuck behind golf, man.
That's the thing. Not to cut you off, but I don't think if like the QB class is decent, but it's not that that up there where you have to, this guy's here, we have to take him. Like Detroit's got a whole lot of other problems besides quarterback that they need to spend those draft picks on helping those needs. Because I mean, you traded for Goff, you got what you got, and you still got some years in them. I
don't know if
got that money in them.
I don't know if that was a compliment. Dan, you said you got what you got. You didn't say Goff was good.
You got what you got.
you got.
I mean,
guy. You got the guy.
but I mean, that's the thing. Is like, when he was with the Rams, he was good, but could never get to that next level.
Yeah.
Then you go to Detroit, and it seems like they struggle. I mean, they were one of the probably best teams that only won 2 games because they were always in the game.
Good effort.
Yeah, they played hard. They were hard to play against. But like I said, he could get you there. You could win with him. But they got a lot of other stuff that they need to fix first.
So if people want to know why, if you're listening, you're looking at why did the DA just jump right in and just pull a Pittsburgh thing out of his butt.
And I'm rude.
No, because we got Pittsburgh Dan on here. That's other Dan's other nickname, Pittsburgh Dan. Dan got the Penguins hat on. He's a Steelers fan. He's a Pirates fan. We're not going to say that loud because he says his season is over.
It's over before it begins.
So that's why the DA pulled that out. And that's a really good question. Number 2, what did you see this at on who?
Hey, my man, listen. Hey,
that's what he said. Florio said that.
No, my boy Mike Mayock is back out.
Mike Mayock.
Yeah. Listen.
Wait, DA. Wait before we get to football. Go ahead.
Let me just. Listen. Mike Mayock is my dude. So he has never been as good as a GM as he was on the Football Network. He was great.
Okay.
So him and my man Corey Chavis, I jump into my boys and they say, yeah, they got him number 2. I guess, listen, man, the Steelers need him because, Big Ben was holding them for hostage for the last 5 fucking years, and he doesn't help the young guys get any better. So he left you with a Rudolph that doesn't know what to do, and another cat that don't know what to do because Ben said, I don't help.
Yo, Big Ben is the DA is the Duke boys and then Big Ben is. I mean,
would Mike call him the dirty man?
Yeah, hey, listen, 20 cents. If you don't know, just look up. Just look up Ben Roethlisberger in the year 2010, and that's all you need to know. But no,
D-Dub had his question. Go ahead, DA. And we're going to finish up with hockey.
Yeah, I'll let you finish the hockey. But, I think Pickett's a great player, man. And there's a few teams I would take him 1 or 2 because I think he ran the pro set in college. He's a good arm. He could make every throw. There's a few teams that could use him. They're just not that high up. You know what I mean? So his best bet would be, I guess, like a Mac Jones to get kind of left in the green room for a little while. You know, because there's some teams that are in the middle that could really use them as opposed to someone at the top because they don't really need them. I'm sorry. Hockey.
What was your last question for Dan? And then we're going to move on to the
last question is, I don't really have a last question on that one other than, the Lightning is probably going to the Lightning going to do it again, right, Dan? Go ahead.
They're looking real good, but like
Look,
barring injuries, they'll probably make it to at least to the conference finals. And that's a lot of hockey over 2 years, 3 years. So injuries are going to be the big thing.
Who's going to beat them?
Who's going to beat them?
Yeah, who do you think will beat them?
I think Carolina can.
Yeah, Carolina. Yeah.
I think Florida can.
I think Florida's playing well. They're grinding.
And if they get all the way, I think Colorado could beat them. I think St. Louis could probably beat them. No, we're talking not just one game. We're talking, best of 7.
Best of 7, right? Correct. But
go ahead, Dino. I'm sorry.
No, it's just gonna be tough, man. I mean, but like you said, though, I mean, this is what the second year.
They won back to back, so this is
back to back.
This is year 3.
This is year 3. It's tough. It's tough to do 3, but hey, if anybody could do it, and that Lightning team is special.
They got the goalie for it.
They definitely do. That's all I got, Kat.
So Dan, I got one other question. It's pretty much D-Dub's question. I thought he was going to ask it again. I know he asked it off the air, but he was asking why, where can people, because we know some of the networks that do cover sports, they don't cover hockey as much. If people want to get like in depth on hockey, where can they go? What periodicals can they go to? What do you do?
Well,
where they can't go.
Well,
my bad. I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
But like you got, obviously ESPN has the NHL. So like if you can stream, you can watch it on that ESPN Plus to watch it there. Like if you're talking TV, for me, like if I want like news and stuff, I go to like the NHL, like the NHL Network. I think those guys do a really good job of covering everything, whether it be USA hockey or like junior tournaments, all that, and like draft picks or prospects and stuff like that. They do a lot on that. But if you're like talking on the internet, like it's basically the ESPN of Canada, TSN.
Yes, TSN.
But see, they actually like hockey. So they talk about that more than they talk about basketball and football.
Correct.
So that's one of the better places to go, like to get information, especially like when it gets closer to the trade deadline. They usually have a bunch of articles of like who could possibly be moving, where they might go, all that good stuff. So because
definitely the 4-letter network is not going. They're not going. Other than just show you highlights, that's about it.
Yeah,
they're not going to tell.
They black out their screen quicker than I do when it comes to hockey.
Hey, they do like this?
Yeah. And they'll have them four initials across their screen.
Dan, any other periodicals people can check? Any other podcast beside ours, of course, that covers hockey and goes in depth? Any periodicals like Hockey Digest? Do they still have that? Or
I think they do. Like they had the Hockey News. I used to get that when I was a kid. The only thing that was bad about that, it was always a week. Like the news that was in it, it was a week behind. But I still loved it.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying to think. like Spit and Chicklets podcast.
Now, who's that with? They're part of Barstool. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's Paul Bissonnette, Ryan Whitney, X-Fires. Then you got what's the rear admiral? I can't think of his name right now, but like, yeah, they get a lot of players to come on and former coaches and stuff like that. And usually that's a real good listen. Like a lot of times I'll just listen to the podcast.
Okay.
I got one more question just to piggyback off of what you just said. Dan, for your preference, would you rather listen to coverage or a podcast or anything on hockey of former players or guys that are journalists that know about the sport? What's your preference?
It depends on the personality of the person. Like a lot of times, like I love Biz Nasty and Whitney on their podcast because they crack me up, and they tell it real. And they tell stories of where they played and what they went through, the Russian gas and all that good stuff. Like a lot of these announcers or whatever, they're good, but they don't have the same inside information, I guess, because they've been there, done that. Like when you watch Romo, on the telecast, he's going to tell you what play they're run by the formation.
The referee's going to touch the ball. He's going to touch the ball. Oh no, the game is over.
But we didn't get there yet. Hold on, Kev.
Yeah, but like as players doing it, like I said, there's some people, announcer wise that I enjoy listening to, and there's some that like that Boston did. I'm not even going to say his name. Man, I mute that stuff as fast as possible because that dude's a homer. His boy, they could be fighting, and the Bruin getting his ass kicked, and he's if you ain't watching it, it sounds like the Bruin guy just murdered him. Yeah. Like people like those ones. Yeah, I can't deal with those.
Gotcha. That's good, man. That's good, man. Hey, on this very show, we talk 42 minutes of hockey, man. Well, you know what? That's what we do here. Sports chasers, baby. That's what we do.
Oh, just one other thing, because I know DA was saying about the fight and being down and whatnot. I think over the last 4 or 5 days, I think it was five fights last night.
Yep.
And I will say the Anaheim, like you had Anaheim played Colorado after the Ranger game last night, but the Laurier and McDermott fight, good tilt. Worth a watch on hockeyfights.com. That was a long one.
I love it. DA with the hockey count and Dan with the update on how many fights happened last night. Man, that's great, man. Dan,
I'm good with it.
Dan, I appreciate you so much coming on. Dan's going to hang around and talk a little NFL and other things with us. His Steelers were in the playoffs, is the key word. But before I get with the Steelers, as I just referenced with Tony Romo calling the game last Sunday at 4:00. As we move to the National Football League, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Dallas Cowboys last Sunday in Arlington, Texas at AT&T Stadium, 23-17.
Y'all see that? Game, are you looking at
the 49ers strong? Look at DA. Yeah. Look.
That's not a softball, kids. All right? It's real.
23-17, the Niners won it. Garofalo threw for Jimmy G threw for 172 yards. Dak threw for 254 and 1 TD. Zeke, 12 rushing attempts, 31 yards. And the end of the game was quite bizarre. The Cowboys were trying to go for at least a score and a tying touchdown, and then Dak runs the ball the last play of the game, runs it up the middle.
14 seconds,
runs it up to the middle, and he gets tackled, touched, and somebody forgot to tell them that the lineman, the official, must touch the ball before they start, and they didn't. And soon as when the official touched the ball, game was over. And after, and I wish I had this queued up, Dak says, we practice this all the time. Congratulate. Hey, and The Cowboys, 14 penalties pre-snap. I don't want to hear anything, but we're going to start off with the 49ers fan, the DA. DA, what's your thoughts on this game? You got it, brother. You got the floor.
Hey, the thoughts are, it's pretty simple, man. Jimmy G cannot throw the ball more than twice. Nobody believes me when I say these things. People think I'm crazy. I played this game. Not at that level, but I'm telling you, he is not to be trusted with matches. You just cannot leave matches with him at any point in time.
That's the title.
You cannot trust him with the matches. Just can't do it. Because if you do, he's going to burn down your house. He's going to go outside and burn down your car. He'll burn down the grass around your house. And I'm glad. I'm so happy that individuals on different stations, and this is, I rarely agree with these guys, but you know what? The coach speak is over. They're not saying, oh, Jimmy G, one more game with the Niners. Yeah, whatever. Jimmy G didn't win those games. The defense and the running attack won those games. Period. That's all it is. This guy was given an opportunity to throw the ball, and what did he do? He threw it to the other team. That's what he does. That's what he does. So if he just hands the ball off, I believe we won't get beat by 40 this weekend. That's all I can tell you. Dallas is Dallas. It's not McCarthy. So I'm let people know it's not him.
Wait, D. No,
hold up. Listen.
Wait a minute, D. Let DA get off. Let him get off.
I'm gonna tell you why it's not McCarthy. Because head coaches don't call plays. They just don't, offensively or defensively. Now, if you want to say, yeah, he's a run killer because he lets Kellen Moore take the ball out of Zeke's hand, yeah, he needs to kind of rein it in. But it's hard, man, when you got the whole world telling you that this Kellen Moore dude is the next coming of Hank Scram, and he's not. And he's not. That's the same guy that was here with Gary. He's not.
Well,
he's not. He's just not. And that's the difference is, and I think when guys say it on the shows is, it's hard to be a coach at Dallas with Jerry being the coach of Dallas. And whether you believe it or not, Jerry run that team. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But for your check, for you to take the check there, you understand that Jerry Jones is going to come downstairs. He's going to chime in on a phone call, maybe even get in the helmet of the quarterback.
Stop, D.
No, because I've heard worse things happening when Jerry said, hey, man, we're gonna run the ball. Jerry said, oh, no, that I need you for your $75 million a year I'm giving you, right, to throw the ball to Amari, who's getting $19 million this year. Right now, this play right here, third down and 8. I'm gonna hang up now. I'm gonna hang up now. And he's no longer in your helmet. I'm telling you, that's the way it's going down there because other dudes have said it.
Well, D, listen, man. I with all due respect, I can't go with you on this one. I'm sorry, bro. They stopped running the ball. We have watched over a decade the Dallas Cowboys with a running back, an awesome offensive line, and they stop running the ball.
They don't have an awesome.
I don't understand it.
Line. They don't have an awesome offensive line anymore. But I'll give you a good example. Ready? I'm gonna give you a good example because my head coach is part of it. We were in the Super Bowl. Oh no, not us. Atlanta was in the Super Bowl, and he was the offensive coordinator. Right? Dan Quinn took the heat, but they stopped running the ball, and the New England started throwing the ball, and the New England came back from 24 points to win the Super Bowl on my head coach right now, who they thought was a genius, Shanahan, stopped running the ball. He just stopped. And then New England won the Super Bowl. They were down 24 in that game, guys. And
True.
came back and won.
But my only question to that is, shouldn't the head coach say, "Hey, think you should run the ball here"?
Yeah,
I mean, this is not that. At that point, we're not talking about Dallas. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree, but this is what you have, and
I mean, what you the head coach for if you can't?
You can say it, but dudes still can check out of it. They can still check. Dudes check in the bad plays all the time. And I thought they should have kept running the ball with Zeke, Pollard, Tony Dorsett.
So you telling me Zeke is okay? Zeke is okay with it, not getting the money. He got the money, and he's just they're not gonna call the plays, and he's not gonna say nothing about it because he got his check.
The Zeke was crying after the game. You can see it.
Sir, I don't need you crying after the game. I need you crying during the game, your blood, sweat, and tears. I need it during the game.
12 runs for 31 yards.
They didn't give him the ball. Ain't nothing he can do. They didn't give it to him. He can't take it from Dak.
Well, you know what, Dak, you're responsible. McCarthy, you're responsible. Jerry Jones, you're responsible, because if you run the ball, you have a better chance of winning that game. A whole lot better chance of winning the game. Matter of fact, a decade of winning. The Dallas Cowboys should have at least, and I'm not ever a Cowboy fan, and the Cowboys should at least have 3 Super Bowls, or at least made it to appearances. They haven't made no appearances. Nothing.
How many playoff wins? How many playoff wins have they had in the last 30 years?
Exactly.
1.
You got to be kidding me with the talent that they've had. The the trades they made. Got Amari Cooper. Got CD Lamb.
I don't disagree. It's just
no. I'm just saying. It's just I'm not a Cowboy fan. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. But to watch a team with that type of talent, and here I am with a New York Giant fan, just really. And that's all Dallas beat up on. Dallas has beat up on the NFC East. There was 6-0 against the NFC East and 6-6 against everybody else. That just tells you they're playing in a bad division, and it was able to beat up on the division, but they didn't have no answers for everybody else.
They're not a great team. They're not disciplined.
By far.
They're not disciplined.
14 pre-snap penalties.
Yeah, they're not
at home.
At home. Thank you, Dan.
And it's sometimes, man, the hype kind of messes them up, man, because I think they think they're better than what they are.
But me and you talked about it earlier, right? We talked about this, right? About how hard I think they make the game instead of just it's not a hard game. Run the ball.
Yeah, but
you got the guy.
I don't disagree, man. But whenever you hear that guy there, that OC, he is the next coming of, you may as well throw it in the garbage at that point, right there and then.
Well,
because whenever that happens, it does not work.
I want E to step in here for a second, but I was going to say Mitchell for the Niners ran the ball 27 times, 96 yards. And DA said, hey, we run the ball between 25 to 30 times, we should win the ball game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mitchell wound up having a TD, and I even text DA during the game. I said, are you sure you're not in Dallas and Arlington calling the game on the sidelines? Because they're doing exactly what you've been saying the whole week. And I said, and even when they had a chance to kill the game, and that was that third down, I said, I think they should just run the ball. And sure enough, Jimmy threw the ball, and what happened?
Yo.
I said, DA, they took the headphones from you. What happened? They threw the ball.
Yeah, it's and the one thing you guys also, I say about the Rams, and I told you guys, man, that click clack. Not everybody is built for that physicality. They're all big men. They all play football, but Aaron Donald's not built for that. You know, and he's a great player, Hall of Famer. But when you run at him, it's a problem. And that might have been the reason why Dallas got scared, because whenever they ran, we hit them really hard. But you got to keep running. If that's your MO, believe me, it doesn't matter what the Bengals do this weekend. Doesn't matter. The Titans are going to run the ball 30 times. It don't matter if they're up by 7 or down by 7. They will continue to run the ball. We do that because we got no choice. You saw my choice. We got no choice. If we get down by 28, turn the game off. Turn the game off, because it gets real ugly at that point. We just got to see if Green Bay is ready for that physical line play. If they are, it's going to be a real good game.
Right.
You know?
Let me get Eric in here. Let me get your thoughts on the game, brother.
Yo, hats off to San Fran. They did exactly what I thought they was going to do. They ran the ball and they did it. They made enough plays on offense and defense to hold Dallas off. I don't know what to say about Dallas, man. I mean, D-Dub said it to a T. Like we talk about this off air all the time, man. It's like at least 15 years these cats should have at least five, 6 appearances at the Super Bowl. But just like in that game, they get in their own way. All of those penalties, just bonehead plays, just out of place. Like the lack of discipline is amazing. But that goes to show you it doesn't matter how much talent a team has if you don't have the discipline to do your job. That talent, you could throw that right on out the window, because the cats with skill, the cats that have discipline, they're gonna run right all over you. And thankfully, Jimmy G only turned the ball over once. So and D-Dub, I know you sound frustrated, brother. Dallas lost. That is a win-win for everybody on here. Okay. All the listen to that whole, it is a win-win. All you Dallas fans, I don't know what to tell y'all. Yo, this next preseason, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear y'all with y'all palm. Oh, Dak, we gonna do it this year. No, your owner. Let me tell you something. Jerry Jones is the gift and the curse. The man could put a team together, obviously, but he still gets in the way. He kind of reminds me of James Dolan in the way. Like, yo, just sit down somewhere. Just go sit down. Don't be a fanboy. All in the media, all in the videos, all in the interviews, all this other stuff. Just collect your money, go sit down. Just go over there. But they think they rock stars and they got rocked out. So I'm happy with it, man.
Dan, what's your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys and the Niners?
Yeah, I watched that game, and I thought the Niners were doing good. Running the ball. Was it that Samuel dude? He was tearing them up he was tearing them up, and it was like it was almost comical to watch, like the dumb things, like Dak coming up to the line, see with a Lamb out there. He just taking a sweet ass time getting to the line. He doesn't even look at him, hikes the ball, and illegal motion or whatever the hell they call it, false start. And then flip side, you had the same thing with Joey G. You got the extra lineman on the end of the line. You don't wait to him. The guy never even gets set before you hike the football. And it's like you only need less than a foot. All you have to do is wait till everybody gets set. Hike the ball. You're good.
Dan, I don't know if you talked to DA this week, but DA said that he said, Kev, all he had to do, Jimmy G, was look to his right.
Peripheral. You can see the guy. You should be able to see, if you're sitting there under center, you should be able to see the guy at the end of the line standing up. I'm like, that guy's supposed to be down. Let me wait a minute.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But they tried to give that game away. San Francisco did.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yes.
But I was, like most, I was happy to see the star get tarnished again. What's funny is I saw a stat where they had like a list of 5 quarterbacks, which were not great. And there was like one with 5 playoff wins, one with 2 with 4, and then the only one that was on there was the team was the Cowboys. And it was like, I think it was like the last 30 years that there's backup quarterbacks that have more wins than this organization in the last 30 years.
Damn.
And like since Emmitt Smith and the boys left, it's been downhill since.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So the Niners move on. They play Green Bay. We'll get everybody's predictions after we go through the games. The next game I would like to travel to SoFi Stadium. The Arizona Cardinals took on the Los Angeles Rams, and this game was pretty much over before it began. The Rams wound up winning this game 34-11. Matt Stafford, we're not going to call him Pat Stafford. He threw for 202 and 2 TDs. Cup, he had 5 receptions for 61 yards for a TD. Even OBJ, he had a TD. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray, he threw for 137 yards, threw 2 interceptions. One looked very Carson Wentz-like when he threw that ball up, and I don't know what he was doing. Edmonds rushed for 8 attempts, 28 yards, and when they got behind, that was a wrap. The angry one is a Arizona Cardinal fan, so I'm going to give it to him. What's up? Hey, and what's up with the great starts with the coach and the bad endings? I leave it to you, E. Go ahead.
First off, I'm gonna say this. There's many a times. First of all, wait, no. Let me start off right here. First off, congratulations to the LA Rams. They played one hell of a game from beginning to end. Congratulations. Okay, that's out of the way. I've said this many times on this show that my Arizona Cardinals are way too inconsistent to win anything anytime soon. Me and DA talked about it, probably about a year or so off or whatever. I don't even know if that's even I don't even know if that window is open that wide anymore, because from what I've seen, and this is just one game. However, I've seen this all through the year. I've seen this for the past 2 years. Okay. Somebody on that team, whether it's coaching, whether it's the OGs, the vets on that team, needs to start pulling face masks and say, hey, this is not good enough. Okay. To go on Monday night in a playoff game and have that kind of performance. I don't even know the words I care to use right now. Okay. They absolutely sucked in every way imaginable. Okay. Kyler Murray, happy feet. You cannot outrun everybody on the defense. This is not college, sir. You're not going to outrun these guys. These guys run damn near fast as you, east to west. Okay. And that's all you was doing is running east to west. The run game, again, all of a sudden, non-existent. I understand they fell down early, but it was still early. And I think on the group text, Darryl was like, hey, man, just settle down. Just settle down. Run the ball. Just calm down. What do they do? Turnover. Interception.
Turn it over.
So I don't know what they're going to do moving forward, because you got to think about, are we going to keep Kyler? You have no pass rush because you got skeletons named JJ Watt and Chandler Jones. I don't think Chandler Jones will be back. He'll probably get a payday somewhere else. It's not looking good. I will say this: the pieces that they lost prior to this year, leading up on defense, the Hassan Reddicks of the world, they should have kept them guys and left JJ Watt where he was at. No disrespect to JJ Watt, but those 3-4 guys that you decided not to bring back could have helped a little bit from what went on Monday night and all through the season. So that's all I got, man. Again, congratulations to the Rams. Hopefully we'll get a good game from them this coming weekend. But Arizona, like I said, man, the past 2 years, the Detroit Lions has a win and a tie against this Arizona Cardinal team. Let that sink in. I'm done.
Hey, Dan, what's your thoughts on this game, real quick?
Yeah, I'm kind of with him. Like when I watched that game, I was like, Kyler Murray was a deer in headlights. Like he did not know what to do. Like the big stage, the bright lights, and he just he almost freaked out. Like I wasn't sure if that was Baker Mayfield or Ben back there throwing that ball. Like I'm like, what are you thinking? Throw the ball out of bounds. I mean, you can't hold the ball that long in your end zone.
Nope.
But they like he said, I was just like, man, the Rams are playing good, but they are not doing themselves any favors. You know, they were just helping the Rams. And I was like, man, this game over. I mean, were they missing Hopkins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was still out.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that would have made a
It would have been
huge
worse because he would have been forcing the ball to him.
Yeah, but that was that was it, to me. That looked like an inexperienced team. Whether like even like the college championship, when you see a different team make it in there, and they just laid an egg. I mean, Rams, like I said, Rams play good though.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Odell had a nice pass there.
Yep.
Yeah, was it? And I felt bad for that. Buda Baker did, because he got Akers ran him over.
Yeah.
Hope he's doing okay. But
They said he is.
that's good, because man, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D-Dub, what's your thoughts on the game, sir?
Kev, I told y'all the week before, every time, and I didn't pick the Cardinals. I said they was going to lose. I said they was going to lose. Every time I would go with these guys, I said, yeah, they should win this game. They end up losing, and they did it again, just like the Cowboys. I told y'all last week that I was picking the Cowboys, knowing good and well that I knew whatchamacallit was going to win. So same rules apply with the Arizona. Yo, car seat Kyler looked like he went regressed and put the Pampers back on. He was trying to take the Pampers off, and he put the Pampers back on, and he just wet the bed. Man, he was just it was terrible. It's terrible. He had an awful game. I mean, I'm sure he'll bounce back, and they'll look at this, but I don't know where they go, because they was trending up, and this is that type of performance. It wasn't like they was in the game, and they was like never in the game. Like they was never. You could just tell they was just never in the game. There's nothing. When I said, let's settle down, y'all can get back.
Never.
And he was like, no, it's done. They did. He was like, they done.
That whole team looked like Ben Simmons to me. Okay, I'm done. I ain't gonna
He's
say
like, he's done. They had checked out. I was surprised they put up 11 points, but to me they checked out, and I turned off. I turned the game off, because I was like, I'm not going to bother. The Rams had it, and they move on. So just an underachieving team this year.
You think underachieving?
Yeah, I mean, they, well,
as far as that game goes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But didn't they start out the year like undefeated?
7-1. They set
for the longest.
7-1.
Yeah.
I just expected a whole lot more, and they totally let the fans down, and whoever was watching, that was just a bad performance.
Let me ask DA, because DA is going to get the next point. With this coach's track record, DA Kingsbury, and he has a history of his team starting off great. And what is that about?
It looks like, at least the last few years, he brought a lot of his college offense and tweaked it, and was doing some really good things that a lot of teams didn't catch up with. But as they started to catch up with what he was doing, that coupled with injuries and that coupled with, Kyler being under 6 feet, they're just able to put an defense out there that stifles them. Now, it just so happens that, you can have a plan, but if you don't have the type of athletes to kind of implement it, then it's an issue. So they got Jalen on the backside with the Rams that'll stop whatever they got on that end. And they got 2 rushes up the middle. And on the side, they can rush you with 4. And with that being said, Kyler had a problem getting away from those guys. And next year is going to be hard. They're going to have to really. We'll see if Kingsbury's a great coach, because everybody they've seen his underwear now. So he's got to show something else. So
they see it and it's dirty. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what happened.
Dirty draw.
Yeah.
Yo.
DA, something else, boy. I tell you, boy.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, man, but that head coach, because of his age, and I'm not saying young people are stupid, but I think he has a thing where he gets overexcited. So when he gets overexcited, being the coach of the team gets overexcited. And they start, remember, they're already young. I can already say in my head, I believe that he was the type of coach that he didn't want anybody else's message in the locker room but his. And that's why you get rid of a Honey Badger who won a Super Bowl after he left. And Patrick Peterson is going to be a surefire Hall of Famer, because he didn't want somebody else in that locker room saying, hey, coach, that, he wanted to create that whole college thing in the pros. And it just doesn't work. It just does not work, man. And we'll see what Kingsbury can do, because he did play in the league, so he should know better. But, we'll see what happens.
Interesting to say enough that, yeah. Eric, real quick, does Kyler, does he want to play quarterback? I mean, I know that's, being with his MLB background.
I'm gonna say this. I'm sure that he will get his payday, unless he just absolutely stinks next year, because next year will be his contract year. I don't know if Arizona's going to pick up that 5th-year option or not, or just go ahead and sign him to a deal. But he has options. I don't remember, maybe Kev, you or DA can fill me in on his baseball side of his career. I don't know if he's that good at baseball. I heard that he was, but I don't know, is he better at baseball than what we've seen in football? I don't know. Maybe y'all can chime in on that.
He was a top 10 pick, right?
Yeah, top 10, man.
Yeah. So,
and what position did he play?
Actually played them all, but first base, he was an infielder.
Okay. First base, and I thought shortstop, if I'm not mistaken. I could look at it.
No, that's where he played, and he played outfield. So
I do believe, depending on how he wants to work it, because I'm sure if he goes into baseball now, you got to go through, the whole thing with contracts in baseball. So he'll probably be 28, 30 before he can see a good payday if he's top 10 worthy. Or he can just go ahead and get paid and see what happens with his career with Arizona or wherever else he goes. So I think his best bet is probably health-wise is play baseball, because if they don't get better with this offensive line and they don't have a better scheme to protect him, he's not going to last very long. At that size, he's almost like RG3. Like, get out of bounds, throw the ball away. Why take these unnecessary hits? And not like he's getting hit like that, but any little twist when you try to turn and think you're going to get away, somebody can grab your collar, something like that, there goes your ACL, there goes your Achilles. So why put yourself at that risk? So I would say, as a fan, I would love to see him continue his career playing quarterback. But health-wise, might want to go to that other sport, son.
That's good enough, man. It should be really intriguing to see what goes on with the Cardinals. We're gonna stop by real quick, and I mean real quick. Dan, your team went to Arrowhead last Sunday night, and this was probably Big Ben's swan song, and they went and got annihilated by the Chiefs, 42-21. Dan, real quick on your Steelers. I mean, we talked about it. You said this game was going to be not even close, and I kept saying, encourage you. Nah, Dan, I think the Steelers have a fighter's chance, and nah, man, this was not a fighter's chance. Dan, go ahead.
This flush, it's done. Get that crap out of here. Yeah, I mean, we had to have a miracle to win that game, and like with Watt picking up that fumble and running it in. There was a little bit of glimmer of hope, but it was like you knew it was only a matter of time before it came.
Right.
And and I watched a little bit of it. Like I know we were talking, and I literally turned the game off because like once I think it was 51. Is it Turner or maybe?
Yeah.
Like he got the ball from the center, and I don't know what 51 was thinking, but he literally turned to the right and would let the guy run straight up the middle. So by the time that Ben got the ball, he already got hit. Like he couldn't do it. And I'm like, yeah, we're done. Put a fork in us.
Mahomes threw for 404 yards, 5 TDs. Phenomenal. McKinnon had 12 rushing attempts for 61 yards. Kelsey had 5 receptions for 108. And he
threw a touchdown too.
And he threw a touchdown also. So Dan, real quick. What do the Steelers do for quarterback? I mean, and Ben has not officially said he's retiring, but he's retiring, right?
I would think so. I mean, it's like you can't have him as a backup to either of these two that we got, because as soon as they start to struggle, it's going to be, well, bring him in, and they're never going to get a fair shot. So the whole retirement thing, he's done with the Steelers. My thing is, I think he might play somewhere else.
Really? That's interesting.
If he's going to play, it's going to be somewhere else, because it's not going to be Pittsburgh. But I mean, I'm kind of in the camp. I'd rather see them pick up somebody that's proven and like trade for a quarterback.
Jimmy G, because DA don't want him.
Or Wilson, if Rodgers is available, I'd rather see them pick somebody like that than go through the draft, because they've been drafting quarterbacks since Ben got there, and they've yet to hit on one besides Ben.
Would you take a Kirk Cousins on a 1 year on the last year of his deal?
I would try him out, like, because all I see is Trent Dilfer. As long as you don't turn the ball over and you can run the ball, you can win. And we got the defense to win. That's the problem. Is we don't have the line, and we don't have the running game right now with Ben back there. But like I said, I'd try him out, because he's not, like, if you looked at his Minnesota stats, he's not terrible. He just doesn't throw for a lot of yards. He doesn't maybe not throw for a ton of touchdowns, but he doesn't throw interceptions either. And that's the important part. Don't turn the ball over.
With that being said, would you try Deshaun Watson?
I'd be down for that. I mean, obviously, as long as the legal stuff, works out or whatever, and he doesn't end up against. But yeah, I'd absolutely be down for that.
I said the same thing. I said for him to even, and just a side note on that, Kev, just for him, for Deshaun Watson, I was talking about the Giants. I said, what we're going to need is a strong GM and a strong coach.
Yes,
Pittsburgh has that. You have a strong leadership and a strong coach. So if they would make a deal for him, if his legal stuff pans out, I mean, that's a steal right there.
Yeah, but, him and Najee and Claypool.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys that would be a quick reset for you guys.
A quick
instant.
Yes.
Instant reset. Angry man is shaking his
No,
head.
I was just thinking Deshaun Watson with black and gold with them receivers.
Ooh.
Yo, I would be on it. I would be on trying to make something happen.
The one thing about it is that being that he's already been in Houston for some years now, he knows what it is to not be behind the line. So if he goes to Pittsburgh and they still doesn't have their offensive line straight, at least he knows how to navigate that.
And let's just think about it. Pittsburgh is no stranger to having somebody
Controversy on their team.
Mike Vick, they've been through this. So, they know how to, kind of smooth things out and bring this guy along and let him, hey, you better do and say all the right things. And except for AB, but I don't think there's no help.
We're not even going to talk about that, man.
All right, I'm sorry.
Not on the show. Maybe the clout chasers.
He's not even employed. I don't even know who an AB
clout
is.
chasers coming to a podcast.
Other than that, they have a history of trying to help, and they could smooth out his maybe his career or whatever.
Wow. Yeah, so the Steelers' future is definitely on this horizon. Well, like I said, we'll talk about the picks here in a second. Let me motor right along. This game is not even worthy for any. I'm just going to mention the score. The Bills rolled the Patriots 47-17.
Can I ask a question just real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Does that performance remove the Bills off the fraud report?
I'm going to say for now, yes. They're off the fraud report. Yes.
Yeah. I would say after hey man, that was a hell of a performance, man.
But he came back just in time. DA.
Yeah, this guy did that like hey.
No.
What you say,
DA?
DA?
The question, man.
No.
I agree with you. Why you say that, DA? I'm sorry, Kev. I know I kind of hijacked it, but
no. I love it. Go ahead.
It's who they play. Like they are a superior team than New England. Even with Bill Belichick coaching that team, they have a superior roster. They should win that game. Now, when you're playing against someone that you shouldn't beat, do you get rolled or do you play hard in a good game? If you play hard in a good game, I'm with you. Or you win. But if Kansas City beats you by more than 21 points, you sit right back where you were. So
I agree.
The Bills defeated the Patriots 47-17. Josh Allen threw for 308 and 5 TDs. Singletary ran 16 attempts for 81 yards. Knox 5 receptions, 89 yards, 2 TDs. Matt Jones threw for 232 and 2 TDs. And that pretty much is. The Bills are the best of the AFC East, and they got another thing coming up here. Let me go to this last game here, and then we'll move along to predictions if my computer will act right. Yes, it's acting right. The Philadelphia Eagles went down to Tampa Bay, Florida, to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Bucs rolled 31-15 over the Eagles. This game to me, what's that?
This is not the horseman sign. In GOAT we trust.
This game is not even worth mentioning too. Well, but the Bucs just beat on the Eagles 31-15. Hurts kind of looked like he wasn't prepared to be in the bright lights either. Just wasn't a good game. That game was over pretty much. I turned it off myself and started doing other things. Wasn't a good game. I was like, wow, yikes, this is just not a good game. And like E said, in GOAT we trust, 271 yards, 2 TDs. Mike Evans getting 9 receptions from the GOAT. And Tampa Bay is hurt, and they got some key players still out. Godwin is still out. Who else? Their defensive end, he's still out. So
they're getting everybody back this week.
Yeah, so they should be getting it back. And the NFC East, we continue to be not good, and it is what it is. So the Bucs move on. Let me move on to the last game in the wonderful wild card weekend. Hey, I've been pulling for the Bengals, and the Bengals pulled out. This is a very good game. 26-19. This game was in Cincinnati. Cincinnati Bengals first playoff win in 31 years, man. It's been a long time coming. Happy for the Bengals fans and the Bengals organization. They was able to pull this off. Hey, kudos to the Raiders, man. The Raiders had a tumultuous season. They had a lot of stuff going on, and they was able to at least get to this point. I think that they should keep their coach. His name escapes me right now, but they're probably not going to keep him, being that they just fired Mayock. But with that said, Joe Burrow, he threw for 244 yards, 2 TDs. Mixon rushed for 17 attempts on 48 yards. And Chase, he continues to, Jamal Chase keeps on doing his thing. 9 receptions for 116 yards. Carr didn't play bad. He had two interceptions. He threw for 310 yards, 1 TD. The game came pretty much down to the last play of the game when Carr threw an interception when he was trying to force the game to at least be tied, or they point away from an extra point try. What's your thoughts on the Bengals and the Raiders in wild card weekend?
I'll say that this was the only game where I didn't have a horse in the race. However, these are two teams that I found myself rooting for during the year. I said on this, I said on the cast earlier in the year that the Bengals was going to be good as long as their main pieces remain healthy. And we've seen glimpses of how great they can be. That Burrows to Chase. Oh, good God Almighty. Anyway, hats off to the Raiders, like Kev said, man. They've had some bumps in the road, some more so than others during this season, but they stay true to who they were. They rally around one another, and they just fell short this time around. But they have nothing to hang their head low about, man. They got further than what a lot of people thought they would. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting again. With how the Raiders will retool with coaching and GMs and all of that stuff. But yeah, the Bengals move on, man. It's going to be interesting. Good game.
Yeah. D-Dub, what's your thoughts on the Bengals and the Raiders?
Oh, man, it was a good game. Like I said, the Bengals actually surprised me. I thought, they could do something, but I believe I picked the Raiders. But the Bengals, like he said, that Joe Burrow and Chase connection is something
dope,
something special, man. That boy is good player, great player. He look like he's destined for greatness if he keeps it up, barring injuries for both of them guys. So the Bengals move on. And we said, like I said, early in the year, we said that division, they was going to beat up on one another, and they sure did. And Bengals came out on top with impressive wins down the stretch. So, kudos to them. But they got a tough Tennessee team. Tennessee's number 1 for a reason. So we'll see. Saturday, 4:30.
Dan, the Bengals play in your AFC North. What's your thoughts on this game?
Well, like watching this team over the past few years, you get that sense they're coming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was, I don't hate them as much as I hate the Ravens and the Browns because they've always been down there at the bottom, not really bothering us. Right. But
they swept out there, correct?
Oh yeah, yep. But like I said, you've seen it coming, and it was. I mean, it's better for the game than to have the same teams at the top all the time. So it's good to see them get back. And I like to see that.
Those are signature wins for them too against you guys.
Yep, and it's good to see that division. Like everybody wants to say, oh, this, that, or the other, but it's like, man, that's a rough division. There's a lot of other teams that couldn't come in there and win a game to have to play each of those teams twice. So, I was happy for them. I'm not going to be rooting for them, but I'm happy for
them. Good. DA, thoughts on this game?
All right. Good game. I like both teams. Both played well. Both recorded themselves very well. Cincinnati is a well-rounded team and still building. I think they played very well this season, man. They won the game they were supposed to win, and then some, which is what you want a good team to be able to do. So, yeah, I like them. Not sure what's going to happen this weekend, but I dig what they're doing out there and the other Queen City. So,
right. Cincinnati is also called the Queen City. So, it should be definitely. We'll get into to the Bengals. I think they're on the rise. They are on the rise, and we'll talk about. Let me talk about the predictions right here, real quick. Divisional round here. We got the divisional round starting. If my computer will ever start, Saturday. The divisional round. We got the Bengals, the aforementioned Bengals, travel to Nashville, Tennessee to take on the Titans. E used to be down that way. E, who you got in this game?
Titans. I think the Titans are going to come out. It's not going to be a blowout, but I think the Titans are going to remind everybody who they are. And before all this, the Cincinnatis of the world or whatever, the Titans and the Bills were next up, right alongside the Chiefs. That was basically the teams that everybody believed was going to take that next step. And I think the Titans this weekend is going to remind everybody who they are, and they're going to get this win. So I'm picking Cashville.
DA, who you got?
Hey, I'm going with E.
Okay.
I think the running game will keep Joe sitting down. So I think that's how they win this game. I think Tennessee wins.
Gotcha. Dan, who you got?
I got the Titans also. I think if Henry's back, even if he's not, I still think they're going to run the ball. So it'll be a close game.
Okay. D-Dub, who you got?
No doubt, Kev. Go with the Titans, man. Titans go, yeah. Again, I'm a proponent of running the ball. Run the ball. You got Derrick Henry, run the ball.
Yeah. So everybody on this panel's got the Titans. I'm going to say the Titans too. I think this game's going to be close.
And also, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think this game will be a 28-24 game. Titans. Go ahead, D-Dub.
Cincinnati's 0-7 all time in road playoff games. So, I mean, if that says anything.
Well, yesteryear, dude. I swear, man. I said that some of these guys wasn't even born when he was playing these games, man.
There was only 3 people on their roster that were born the last time Cincinnati won a playoff game.
Thank you, Dan.
Wow. If that says anything to the people that's watching, don't put your money on the Bengals this weekend. I'm telling you.
Don't put your money in the Bengals. So now we got our sports book, D-Dub. Don't put your money on the Bengals. Next game, the next Saturday game. Oh, yeah. DA, go ahead. Throw them up, DA. The Niners from the west side, from Santa Clara. The Niners travel to Green Bay, to the frozen tundra. Take on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, man. DA, who you got, man? I'm starting off with you, dog. Who you got? Picking with your heart, you picking with your football mind.
I'm picking with my heart this game. So I'm gonna go with the 4-9.
Okay. Rocking with the 4-9. I know you hate to give scores. I'm gonna start. Dan, who you got in this game, man?
Green Bay.
Okay. D-Dub, who you rolling with?
I'm rolling with Green Bay in this game. I don't see nothing. Aaron Rodgers has been playing superb all year long. I don't see nothing changing. They're gonna do the right thing, and Aaron Rodgers is not gonna throw it to the wrong person. So they're gonna give Garoppolo that extra juice to make him think that he could throw the ball, and DA's gonna have heartburn by the end of the game.
Well, we hope not.
Well, Aaron, since you're the sports book guy, it seems like Aaron Rodgers hugged Aaron and what's her name? Andrews before the game or after the game.
He hugged her. Dog, that's a non-story to me. Yo,
That's for clout chasers, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 career record versus San Francisco 49ers in postseason. If that makes
that's a
DA
good
feel any better.
Okay, all right. I like that. Thanks for that stat, D. Dub. I like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I was on the clout chasers. Yo, Eric. Eric, who you got in this game, dog?
This is a tough one. I want to say San Fran, and not because they're in the division or whatever. I seen something change in them a couple of weeks ago, and I've been picking them ever since. So I'm gonna keep going, man. I'm gonna say San Fran, but I will not be shocked if bad man Aaron Rodgers gets it done at home. But I'm picking San Fran.
I'm picking this game. I think the Niners are gonna run the ball like 30 to 40 times. I think the Niners are gonna win this game. 17-14. Late field goal from your man, DA.
Gold.
Yeah.
Gold.
Hey, Kev, that's their best off.
They can't throw the ball. They like
That's
DA got to fly out to Milwaukee and take the bus to Green Bay like on tomorrow, so he can call the plays again. Because DA, you did a great job last week. Go ahead.
If they want to win the game, you got to keep that man off the field. And me and DA has spoken about that. You got to keep him off the field.
Oh, ball control.
That's no secret.
Run the ball. Yes, I mean
that's no secret. It's no secret. Man.
I don't
keep
understand
that man off the field.
Why football teams have gotten away from that over the years. So, he's got.
We know why, but we ain't.
Well, that's a whole nother show, right? I mean, I just remember my 90 Giants, man. They said we had no chance against the Bills, against that offense, and we held the ball for 40 some odd minutes. Shout out to Otis Anderson. We ran them like 40 times, and it worked.
They'll beat Denver the same way, so.
Yeah. So run the ball and play defense and let it go. I'm picking the Niners, 17-14. I'm picking the Niners. The next Sunday game will go to down in Tampa Bay. The Rams travel cross country. The Rams won earlier this year. Now they come to Tampa Bay. The Bucs are favored by 3. DA, who you got? The Bucs or the Rams? Sunday at 3:00.
I'll take the Rams.
Why?
Inside pressure on Brady.
They're gonna get to Brady?
They're gonna get close. I mean, the dude throws the ball in like 2 seconds. So I don't think you're gonna get close, but they do have someone on the back end and Ramsey that may be able to get an interception or two. And Pat Stafford can't throw the ball.
Okay. Dan?
I'm going to go Tampa Bay. I mean, the Rams got a good defense, but I just think at the end of the day, the Brady.
Yeah.
And then, you got the Zebras out there too, so I got a feeling Tom's going to get his way. But it'll probably be a close game. Like 21-17, something like that.
Okay. D-Dub, who you got?
I'm going to have to disagree with Dan. I'm going to go with the Rams. I know I say in GOAT we trust. That's been the mantra around here. But I don't, for whatever reason, just looking at this game, I just have a feeling that the Rams could they might pull it off. They played the Buccaneers and beat them this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Brady is 14-2 career record in divisional round. So I mean, I might be the one looking stupid at the end of the week. So, but I'm still going with the Rams here.
Okay. E, who you got?
In GOAT we trust. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Brady is the most, he's throwing 400 and 500 yards like he's Pat Mahomes, anything like that. People need to understand something, right? If you looked at it like how I look at it, the man knows the system. He knows just about every pass rusher that's going to come at him. He knows his line. and he knows his hot routes. He knows where the guy comes in. He's going to call a audible, and the guy's going to cut over where that guy's coming to blitz him from and stuff like that. And I will have to say I trust Tampa's coaching staff along with Tom Brady more so than McVay and Matthew Goff. It is over for the Rams. It's been a good season for them. I like to see what they're doing going forward because that cap number for them guys is going up, up, up. But anyway, I'm going Tampa.
I'm going to pick the Bucks. I think the Bucks will win this by a touchdown, 28-20. The Bucks will win. The Sunday night game, the Bills versus Chiefs. I think this is going to be a very, very good game. I'm going to start it off. I'm going to say the Bills are going to get the Chiefs. I think the Bills will win this game 30-24. Josh Allen will throw up enough offense. And I think the Bills defense will be just a little bit better to hold them off. That's what I'm picking. I'm picking the Bills over the Chiefs, 30-24. D-Dub, who you got?
You muted.
$5.
Gotcha. Yo, I struggle with this one. These teams are kind of even. Last year, Buffalo kind of wet the bed, but Kansas City is 32 points per game in the playoffs with Mahomes. They're at home. I want to go. My heart is saying go with the Bills this year. Go with the Bills. Go with Josh Allen.
Okay.
And I think I want to take it.
Dan, who you got?
This is probably the hardest one to pick out of the whole bunch because it's a coin toss. I don't know. For some reason, I think Buffalo might get him this game. It'll be close, but I think Buffalo is going to get him.
Okay. DA, who you got?
It's a pick 'em for me, man. I'm trying to think of what I heard about the injury report, and they both seem to be relatively healthy. The issue I have going against Mahomes is how quickly they can score in a game in which, like Josh Allen can be doing everything in his power to keep them ahead. And you blink your eyes and Kansas City has scored 3 touchdowns. So I'll take the Bills because I like anarchy, but I believe that Kansas City is gonna win the game.
Buffalo's defense is number 1.
Points.
Yep.
And what points allowed? So not in yards.
Kansas City's 27th.
Oh, their defense stinks.
Yeah, we knew this.
Yeah, it's just that Mahomes is you think you got him, touchdown.
Yeah, I feel if Buffalo's defense do the right thing, I feel good with the pick. I'm going with Buffalo.
I feel the same way, D-Dub. I really do.
If their defense just plays, if they do what they did last week,
yeah, I think I want them to win. I'm just not sure. So
yeah, they're like by far, like Dan said. You said it's by far. This is probably the toughest game this week.
I totally agree. Go ahead, D.
I think this game here is going to resurrect all the talk of how offenses are so prolific and it runs the NFL and this and that, the third. I think both defenses is going to wet the bed, shit the bed, anything else that you want to phrase, they're going to do that. Vomit, whatever. I think Buffalo will win this game. I think they've learned turning the corner, not just because of their win last week, but I think they've learned that the window's not going to be open forever and they need to strike. I got Buffalo 44-38. It's
wow.
No defense allowed. It's
no defense allowed in this game. Wow. Okay. Dang, E. I got you. I hear you. I hear that will end our National Football League segment. We are way, way, way over our time, about 14 minutes. But I just must talk about, and guys, Eric, especially Eric, please, I beg you,
I got my finger on it, boy. Don't you do it.
just bear with me for a few minutes with the National Basketball Association. Chicago,
that three-letter association, boy. I tell you, that one.
The Phoenix Suns, they the cream of the top. They got a 34-9 record. Golden State has been losing a little bit. I see people talking a little bit about Curry being a little bit of slump, but hey, he's been shooting all his career. My thing is with you guys, and I'll start with DA because DA asked me the question today. DA, why? Well, okay, I'll preface this. DA stated before the beginning of the season that the Los Angeles Lakers, this is not going to work. Because what did you say, DA?
They're old.
They're old. That's been his whole thing the whole year. They're old.
Father Time does not lose. That's why you see them winning a lot of games at halftime. And the next morning on ESPN, they lost. It's simply because they can't keep up with another team for 4 quarters. Period.
But now, as I joke, you're hearing now it's Vogel's fault. Now it's Russell's fault, or Westbrook's fault. And they just simply, like DA said, the Lakers are just not. They got a bunch of old guys on their team, man. Just period.
They don't play defense. They don't rebound, and they don't have any shooters. And that the team was built incorrectly, in my opinion. Especially when AD goes out, you can see it's even more glaring because there's no one else to get those buckets. He's probably the best jump shot shooter on the team.
So let me ask you this:
that unsigned dude, the rookie that came out of nowhere. So
I'm not going to use my voice, my caller's voice, but why is this team wasting LeBron's season? This phenomenal season that he's having.
Whoa.
They're not wasting anything.
Thank you, DA. Go ahead, D. I'll let you finish.
I don't believe them to be wasting anything. Dude is out here getting them stats, which is what he wanted. And that's what he's doing.
LePad James. That's what he is. LePad. LePad James. Padding the stats. That's what he's doing, man.
A lot of empty calories. And I find it to be really strange, man, that, and this is the last I'm going to say on it, that his whole career, guys have talked about how much a team guy is, and he makes the best moves for the team.
So he makes everybody else better.
The reality is that in this year, he's the one during the middle of the game checking his stats. He's the one that cares about just scoring and getting buckets, even if the team loses, which they do. Poorly conceived team. This ain't the bubble. Dudes in your conference are relatively healthy, and you're going to have to fight through that to win.
We told y'all from the beginning that this guy is a calculating guy, but nonetheless, he's the one that put this team together. He did it. So
and
pick the coach. So now it's the coach's fault. Now Westbrook. Wait a minute. You know what? Michael beats him again because Michael was able to take Dennis Rodman and do something with them. Now the guy that's supposed to be so great, he can't do nothing with Russell Westbrook. And you ask for the guy to come here. Yo, man, I'm done, man. This is just.
Yo, that's a good point, D-Dub. That's a good point.
Jordan wins again. Jordan wins again. So,
with the 4-5 or the 23.
Yeah, I'm done talking about the Lakers. We knew it from the jump that this was not going to be the right. I don't even know why we even talking about them. And I don't even know why they even still get the chance to come on TV. Other than because LeBron, but he's padding his stats, so we know he's padding stats.
Eric, who I would never pick to be our NBA correspondent, but
I will burn all of my PTO and all of your PTO if it comes to me being a correspondent for the NBA. But go ahead, Kevin. What was your question?
Oh, what's your thoughts on this? D-Dub kind of stole my thunder. Why is the Lakers getting so much press? And we know it's kind of a rhetorical question, but what's your thoughts on just this and going? Who is there to look for in the NBA this year? Like I just said, the Suns are playing phenomenal. Shout out to the Warriors. They're back. Hey, the Bulls are playing great in the East. Embiid had 50 points last night. But we still come full circle back to the arena formerly known as Staples. Go ahead, E.
Look, man, I don't have nothing else to say about the Lakers because y'all said it already. Man, the man is obviously he's not chasing rings anymore. Okay, a lot of people already have this man as the greatest to ever lace him up, and that's fine. That's their opinion. Whatever. I'm not here to argue that shit no more. That shit is old. Okay, whatever you believe in, whatever. If he's the greatest to you, so be it. Fine. However, he's chasing like everybody has said, he's chasing stats. He wants to prolong his career. He wants to be on the grandest stage of them all with his son on the same floor, whether it be on the same team or not, what have you, right? More than likely it'll be on the same team because none of them guys that's there now is going to be there when that happens. Okay. And, he's chasing the ghost of Karl Malone and that number one, scoring. Okay, he got rebounds. Oh, he's the first player in NBA history to have 30,000 points and 10,000 rebounds and 5,000.
That's great.
My hat goes off to you, sir. You've had a great. Even if he was to hang it up right now, he's still one of the best to ever do it. However, I'm here to talk about the NBA since you asked me. That's all I got on the Lakers. The Lakers are old. And for as much chagrin that I give street clothes, they need him badly. It's not even funny. But the team that everybody should be talking about is that Ja Morant and them boys down in Memphis. That's who y'all should be talking about. Should be talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, who they're doing it without you, LeBron. I hope you don't try to go back there next year. Man, it's who else? I still like the Hornets. I love their style of play. You already said that, you got your where my standings go. You got your Golden States and you got the Suns is leading the pack. I will dare say the Timberwolves. I don't know if anybody has looked at them, not just because of how they beat the Knicks, but the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are playing better now. They have some talent down there. You wouldn't know it because everything is about the Lakers and the Nets and the Warriors. I get it, but I don't get it. So, and then there's talk about De'Aaron Fox possibly moving. Could he move for Ben Simmons? We don't know, but there's a lot else to talk about around the league other than what's going on out there in Hollywood.
Thank you, E. I appreciate that. Dan, any thoughts on the Lakers or anything?
Nah. I get enough of that all day long. Doesn't matter what TV show you turn on.
I bet you. Okay, yeah, that's
they're not even 500. What are we even talking about?
Why are we even talking about them?
There you go.
Yes.
Why are we even talking about?
They're not talking about the Knicks. They're not talking about the Knicks. But they find a way to talk about the Lakers, and the Lakers is not even 500.
We got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. That's why we're on here, so we can talk about all sports and everything, and everybody.
I got one question though, I know we got to get out of here, but I got one question. I was just reading. I meant to send it to y'all. Talking about baseball real quick. Yo, man, where the Rays gonna go? They Montreal said, so where are they gonna go? They trying to get out of Tampa. Where they going?
Oh, I thought they was gonna go to Montreal. I thought that's where they was gonna play a couple games up in Montreal. So from what I read before, some of the and we gonna spend 1 minute on it. Charlotte built a AAA stadium, which should have been for Major League specifications, so they can't go to Charlotte. Nashville, I think, will be a great fit. They can support another Nashville. Hey, Nashville's
definitely have the market. Yeah.
They definitely got the market. So I don't think they can be sustained in Tampa with the stadium that they have, which is not even in Tampa Bay, it's in St. Petersburg, which is across the bay. and the stadium's in a really, hard to get to area. I don't know where they go for the, but they continue to do it. They continue to keep on doing it and keep on going in the playoffs, the Devil Rays in the World Series. So shout out to the Devil Rays. Hopefully they can fix that and they can move somewhere. So
I stand corrected. It said that MLB rejected the Rays' plan to split team with Montreal. So that was it's on Yahoo Sports by a lady named Hannah Kaiser.
Shout out to Hannah Kaiser. We give everybody the credit here. But now that's funny that MLB has did it. Maybe MLB is going to get the Rays a stadium in the St. Peter, Tampa Bay area. That's what I'm thinking.
Why would you stay there? Don't nobody. Never mind. That's a whole nother show. Never mind. I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. Anyway, Mike's not with us today. We can be found on Instagram, Sports Chasers Podcast, Facebook, Sports Chasers Podcast, Twitter, Sports Chasers Podcast. We also have a YouTube channel that we are currently streaming right now. Shout out to all those that are listening and looking at us right now. If you like us, share us, hit that like button, man. We almost at 1,000 subscribers and users. I appreciate it. We appreciate
all the love.
Going down. We can be found on all podcast platforms, and Mikey's voice, and Kevin likes Deezer. So Deezer, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're supposed to be on Odyssey here in a little bit, but anything you can find a podcast, you put in a search Sports Chasers Podcast. You'll see that beautiful logo that you got back there. Hey, y'all see it right behind me? Y'all see that logo? Shout out to the new logo. You can carry us out. You can listen to us on those platforms. We're gonna do our party shots real quick. Dan, pleasure always having you, brother, coming through, giving us that hockey knowledge.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me. I'm trying not to stroke out here. We were up 5-1, and now we're winning 5-4 with 1:16 left. Against Ottawa.
Okay, the Penguins are playing Ottawa. Yeah, y'all was up.
They're killing me, dude.
Okay. Shout out to the Penguins in Ottawa. D-Dub, party shots, what you got, brother?
Yo, man, another good show. Yo, appreciate all the love. Try to get these subscribers up and likes and shares. Please, if you're listening, talk about us, send this to somebody else. Just give us a shot. We appreciate it.
And we're pretty consistent. We're on here every Wednesday and Thursday night. So every Wednesday or Thursday, preferably Thursday nights, we are here every week giving it to you. So thank you for that, D-Dub. DA, what you got, brother? DA, you are muted.
$5.
$5 too.
Yeah, everyone stay dry, drive safe, have fun, don't do anything stupid. That's about it. That's all I got.
Appreciate that. E, what you got?
Yo, man, as always, great show. Dan, appreciate you as always coming through, giving us that knowledge with them sticks in the puck and everything else that you bless us with, man. Hey,
no doubt.
As always, I will start off, everybody, please look out for your fellow man, woman, and child. It doesn't break a bone in your body. It doesn't empty out your bank account or your pockets to do a good deed for somebody else. I don't know, everybody's everywhere, but here we got some wintry mix going on. Everybody, please be safe. If you have to be outdoors, please stay the fuck away from me. And that's all I got. Great show.
Wow, I don't even know how to follow up. Hey, just be good to your fellow human being. Thanks for those watching. Appreciate you. Those that's going to listen to the podcast later or driving in your cars. Thank you so much. Oh God. Be safe driving, whether you be in snow or drive, rain. Please be safe. You know what? I'm playing the music. I'm getting us out of here, man. Let's go, Mikey.
Oh, God.
All day, man. Hey, but on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator. On behalf of Dad, Daryl D. Del Warren, Dorian, the DA operator, and James, the 881. Wait a minute, what happened to my music? Oh, there it goes. James, the 81 Warren, and also Mike Mills in his absence. Yo, this is the Sports Basis Podcast. Yo, y'all have a good week. See y'all next week.
Yeah, I spit it. Green flag, it ain't timid. And yeah, while I spit it, I did y'all to be a witness. Nigga from the east with mad swag, mad flow, and mad cash. You can cop dope and shopping bags, and I hit them with the blow with a little flash. Now niggas mad, and I can't blame you. If I couldn't keep up, I'd be mad too. But I got bars, and I'm not you. You like one is a team, and we don't fuck with you. Spitting rhymes, that's all day. On the grind, that's all day. Where I'm from,
Sports Chasers, man. Y'all be good. Y'all have a great night. Y'all take care.
On the grind, that's all day. Where I'm from, East BK, and I rep my hood all day. And I rep my hood, and I rep my hood.